What's up, everyone? Phil James. Today is August 31st, 2017, and I've made a few videos about the hurricane tropical storm Harvey. It was quite the intense flooding, downpour, just unbelievable amounts of water, 50 plus inches, all right there on the eastern Gulf Coast of Texas, just bombarded with rain. All right, so we're going to talk about a couple things real quick that Richie from Boston brought up. If you haven't subscribed, go subscribe to Richie's channel. Wonderful channel to be subscribed to. He knows his shit, he's on his shit, and he's a legit dude, so go subscribe if you have not. Actually wearing his shirt right now. I usually try not to make videos that are exactly like on the same stuff without having my own input. I mean, I still have my own input, but this video right here, I have to make it because this truth needs to be out there. So, there's a facility, a NASA facility called Stennis Space Center, or John Stennis NASA facility. It's something like that. It's a NASA facility. It's in the very southwestern point of Mississippi, okay? And it's where they test their heavy lift SLS rocket boosters, or whatever the fuck they call that. They say it's to help them get to Mars and so on and so forth. We can't go to the moon, so they ain't going to Mars. And you best believe, just for the record, the next spacewalk or whatever happens, ISS, satellite deployment, whatever the next space mission is, whether it's SpaceX or NASA, be sure to bring your suntan lotion, your goggles, your snorkel, whatever you want, and your beach towel, because I'm going to take you poolside, and we're going to sit there right through the thick of it. So, yeah, let's get into this. Now, down here in Mississippi, they have what's called a wet surface air cooler. And this is basically what that is, just so you can get a glimpse at what the system is, maybe if my phone will work. Yeah, be nice. Come on, let's do this. There we go. Sorry, guys. I live in the middle of nowhere, so therefore I get bad service sometimes. That is a wet surface air cooler. NASA uses it below their rocket boosters to cool stuff off and keep the temperatures dropping. And then metal foundries and so on and so forth also use it. Whatever. So, let's go ahead and get on to this. This is in Mississippi.
This is the shuttle's fuel tank. It may only be 130 miles to space, but to cover that distance, the engines will use 500,000 gallons of fuel, and that works out at 2 feet to the gallon. They then sent a number of trucks in different directions out into the wilderness, and the drivers wanted to stop when the noise levels became acceptable. This gave them an imaginary boundary line, and anyone living on the inside of it was offered a simple choice. Stay, and you'll never hear another television program as long as you live. Or take the NASA shilling and get out. No one stayed, and NASA ended up with exactly what it wanted. 125,000 acres of nothing. They even had to move 5 cemeteries because the noise they were planning.
Now watch this shit.
The can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And, as it turns out, the cleanest. Now, the most amazing thing is that that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain. I told you! It's raining! That's unbelievable! Oh. NASA's playing God. It's making its own weather.
Now you heard that. NASA is playing God. They're making their own weather. Now, before we get too far into this, that right there, that little red blip, that little red point, is where that rocket test facility is. That NASA Stennis, there, John C. Stennis Space Center. That is where it's at, right there at the very southwestern point of Mississippi. Now, if you see right there, where my finger just touched over there by Houston and whatnot, that is where the hurricane was. Never in the 30 years that I have been alive have I ever witnessed a hurricane make landfall and then legitimately just stop, moving 2 miles per hour. Never have I seen that ever in my entire life. Now, this is the predicted path of Harvey now. So as you can tell, down here, I'm going to go ahead and touch the screen on where you should be looking. Right there. That is where that Stennis Center was. No, I don't want... Damn it. Start downloading stuff. But anyways, that is where the Stennis Center is. Now, they blow all that water vapor straight up into the air, right? That water vapor is now meeting up with Harvey. They did this yesterday again. And yesterday when they turned on that rocket booster to test their Mars rocket, their SLS rocket, all that condensation, all that water vapor meets right up there where Louisiana and Harvey are right now. So all that water vapor is now adding to Harvey. And they obviously know it makes it rain. So what exactly are they planning on happening here? This, my friends, is from yesterday. Yesterday, the very same place, the John C. Stennis Space Center, they turned on this rocket booster for the longest period of time they have ever turned it on, and that is 500 seconds. Now, all that vapor goes up into the air and now is meeting with Harvey as Harvey makes its way northeast all the way through the Mississippi Valley up to the Ohio Valley. They are legit trying to get the most amount of flooding and damage out of this storm that they possibly can. And this right here proves that, because they know what this causes, and they activate it yesterday and activate it for the longest that it has ever been turned on for. Now that is insanity, absolute insanity. And then if you think about what else is out there right now over the Atlantic, what is it? Tropical storm Erma. Now, 5-day weather predictions have that all the way up to a category 5, like within the next 5 days. That is crazy, because Harvey was only a 4 for a little bit of time. And now we have Erma that within 5 days is supposed to hit 180 mile per hour winds, 170, 180 mile per hour winds, which makes it a Cat 5 hurricane that is going to smash the East Coast from what models are showing. It makes you wonder, because wait, isn't hurricane season like over right now? I'm not sure. I don't live on the coast, like I say all the time. I live up in central Ohio area. So it just makes sense to me though that hurricane season is just about over. But you ask why they would turn this on and leave it on for 500 seconds, and you know why they would want to cause the most amount of damage in Texas and whatnot. Well, if we remember correctly, Texas is the state that threatens to secede from America. Texas is the state that purchased a whole bunch of gold to back their own currency off of it if the need was to arise. Texas is the state that is considered hostile territory to the federal government, along with Utah and Southern California. Texas is a state that has its own power grid that takes a little bit of power from the West Coast and the East Coast power grids of America. So, numerous reasons why the Fed would like to bombard them with problems, okay? Also, 2 days after the eclipse happened, Operation Black Skies started. Black Skies is a military slash industry operation, exercise, whatever you want to call it, where they test and simulate massive power grid failure. Black Skies, hence that name. So, what better way to test massive power outages and massive power grid failure than in a state that is already considered hostile territory, one, and in a state that just so happens to have their very own power grid. So, all the signs here point to weather manipulation. I mean, unbelievable the amount of signs and red flags that literally call this out as weather manipulation at its finest, or at its worst, I guess I should say. But like I said, this happened yesterday. They activated this machine, this rocket booster, for the very longest it has ever been activated, and that is 500 seconds. And then left it on. And you saw the BBC segment on it. BBC talked about how NASA is playing God because they make it rain after doing this with their wet surface air coolers. So they're literally adding water vapor to the already crazy amounts of rain and vapor from this Hurricane Harvey. Mass catastrophic damage on the most epic of scales. But I'm gonna cut this video now. I'm trying not to make it too long. But alright y'all, I just wanted to touch base on it. Like I said at the beginning, Richie from Boston is the one that originally made a video and brought this to my attention. So if you have not subscribed to Richie, go subscribe to him. Richie from Boston. Alright? I highly recommend it. It's a great channel to follow and be subscribed to. I watch every live stream. I watch every video he puts out. And yeah, I like everyone too because they are great videos. And he knows the shit. Let's put it that way. But alright y'all. Have a good day everybody. Hope everything goes alright with everybody. And anybody in Texas, Louisiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, if you guys are in the path of what this flooding is about to become, feel free to send me emails, pictures, video footage, and I'll do my best to throw it up on the channel. I'm just trying to get this carnage documented. So once again, shoot me an email if you live in any of these states, Texas especially, Louisiana, Mississippi, where all this rain and all this flooding is about to go down. I will put it on the channel. My email is Phil, PHILMJE, James 77 at gmail.com. Feel free to email me some pictures or some videos or anything else you'd like me to cover. And all right, y'all, keep it real. Phil James, and I'm out.